So now you have them where you want them by using this simple scout, select and hook technique from the previous video. We can now move on to the next stage: engage, close and upsell. I've studied many of the sales masters around the world, inside the stripping industry and out. It all works exactly the same. So you can take this information I'm about to share with you and apply it to any sales position later in life. Everything I'm about to show you works, so listen carefully. The pyramid on screen represents the time you spend selling to a customer. The pyramid is split into 5 sections of the following: building connection, finding a need, creating desire, handling objections and closing, and the upsell. Typically, when selling a dance, in which order do you currently spend most of your time on out of these 5 sections of the pyramid? So most of you would have filled in your pyramid something like this: building connection, finding a need, creating desire, handling objections and closing, the upsell. The first 3 of these levels on the pyramid all create what I call engaging your customer, which is what we should discuss first. So how do we engage people? We start by building friendship, or some may say trust, or building rapport. People like who? People that are like us. So get to know your customer, find some common ground and similar interests. Are you from the same location? Do you like the same fragrance? Find something that links the 2 of you together. There is plenty more on this, on how to do this, in the liking video that we're going to get to later on in the course. It's a shortcut method, but it works every time. So once you feel that he's beginning to connect with you, we can then move on to the next part in our 3-step engage section: finding a need. As I've mentioned before, men are usually in the strip club to search for something that they do not get outside in their own lives. Find out what it is by asking him questions. Listen to his answers carefully to find the clues as to why he is there. Try to be a little indirect about it. If you say something like, "So your wife's not doing it for you anymore then," don't expect a friendly response. Use open-ended questions and aim for more detailed replies rather than a simple yes or no answer. An example could be, "You look like an interesting man. Tell me a little bit more about yourself." If you've built enough connection, then he should easily engage. But if he hesitates a little or throws it back to you with a "what do you want to know?" then help him out by offering him a lead that he can follow, such as, "What do you love to do?" Or, "If you could spend your time doing anything, what would it be?" Basically, questions direct their focus, and you want to direct it to something positive that will engage him and let him open up in a conversation that you can appear genuinely interested in. Focus the topics on him. After all, it's everyone's favourite subject. And if you are listening carefully, rather than just waiting to talk like most people, then you'll soon know what he isn't receiving outside of the club, and you'll have a pretty good idea of what it is that he needs. This means that you now know exactly what to offer to engage his interest and lead it into the next stage of our sequence: creating desire. This is the last segment of our engage section. Creating desire. In other words, dangling the bait. Now you have an idea of what his need is, you can choose the correct bait to use to get him to bite. Let me give you an example. So your customer's talking about his dickhead boss that doesn't appreciate him. What is his need? He wants appreciation, attention, and plenty of significance. So what are you going to do to create desire, or should I say, dangle your bait? You're going to boost his ego and make him feel good. Listen to him rant about his boss and drop in every so often, "Wow, you sound amazing at your job. Even I can see that. Why can't he?" One day, you're going to be the boss. I just know it. In fact, let's pre-celebrate your promotion in the VIP tonight. Or say, "I know just how we can take your mind off your boss," and then wink. That's it. Simple, right? These short steps are what will engage your customer's attention and lead him to the next part of your conveyor belt system, the close. We all seem to panic when it comes to this part, as we don't want to face rejection. But mastering this part is crucial, as this is the moment that you seal the deal. In fact, everything that you've learned so far leads to this. So while it's all well and good doing everything else perfectly, if you don't get this right, you don't make any money. So here it comes, that dark, thick cloud of fear. If he says no, you have to walk back to your seat, doing the walk of shame, hoping that no one else in the room noticed. Or do you? I have the $1 million secret. Want to hear it? Let's go back to the pyramid from earlier. The default order and sequence that we agreed goes a little like this. What I want you to do is to flip your pyramid over, making the point the bottom and the largest base section to the top, next to building connection. Yes, exactly right. The secret is to spend the longest time on building rapport so that you get to spend much less time on the upsell and the close. Big dark clouds lifting, rainbows appearing. It's common sense really, and explains why it's easier to close some customers and harder to close others. Think back to those moments in the past. Did you build a better connection with your easy clients? Yes. Okay, so let's move on to the close. Although the more connection that you have, the less time that you need to spend on the close, there are still things that we need to cover so you gain everything that you need to become a more professional stripper. It's all about timing that you drop in the close, and this is more gut instinct than anything. But if you're unsure, just hit him with a couple of these lines when he's completely engrossed in you and your conversation. I'm going to give you a few close examples now. So handsome, are you paying cash or card? Do you know what? There's just something about you. This conversation can't end here. Let's go somewhere a little more private where we can really get to know each other. Let's go have some fun. Now, naughty fun. I'm ready if you are. Do you notice the variation on the different closes I've just said? The first close is for your big shot, significant guy, that likes his ego stroking. I call these customers lions. The second is for the guy looking for love and connection from you, and he isn't getting it at home. I call these zebras. And the third is for your party guy. That's after some fun, and you're going to help him get it. I call these monkeys. So, moving on. When would we upsell? One is to upsell after your dance. But when you go onto a website, the Buy Now button is always visible, right? And the upsell comes immediately after you hit the Buy Now. It likely even got you when purchasing this course. But why? You may have heard the term strike while the iron is hot. It turns out this method increases your upsell by 20%. Okay, I know we're not online, but the method still applies. The trick is to immediately upsell once your customer is handing you the money, just like online shopping. This way, he's already in the buying frame of mind, and so he's more likely to agree to your upsell. But if he doesn't, you have nothing to lose, as he's already paid, or at least agreed to, for the first dance. And that, I promise you, he won't back out of. When people say that they're going to do something, they very rarely back out, as it perceives them to be flaky or liars. And no one wants to be seen as a liar. So now we have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. How do we position the immediate upsell? I have learned that on this occasion, the most effective method is on numbers. People want to feel as if they are getting more for their money. I call it the end of aisle bargain shopping. There are 3 easy ways that you can position this, either with time, price, or your language. It all depends on your club's pricing structure, but there are 2 simple examples that you can mold to fit you and your club. Taking a standard model of 20 for a dance, you could say, if you pay another 10, I'll give you double the time. That's 2 songs for 30 instead of 40, a 25% discount. Or you could say, rather than paying 60 for 15 minutes, you may as well pay the extra 40 and have the full half an hour. You'll end up staying anyway after spending a little bit of time with me. But at least this way, you save 20. The key is to position yourself like you're saving him money as you like him and he's special. Not just asking for an extra upsell. Or just give your dance option names like, for an extra 10, you'd go for a dirty 30. Or you should try a naughty 40. They think that by giving it a name, it's an upgrade, but really, it's only a time upsell. It becomes easier once you get into the habit of saying it. If he says no, which is rare, but it can happen, and that's okay, just respond with a big smile, and depending on how confident you feel, either try a different approach or leave it and say, no problem, honey, maybe next time. As I said, nothing to lose, but everything to gain.